Welcome, welcome.
Yes, welcome. Week 1 NFL, AIM Sports Betting.
Sunday football. I think this is the Sunday that everybody's been waiting for.
Yep.
I think since the end of the Super Bowl, since the end of the NBA, since the end of the NHL, NFL, first big major league that's back on the docket that isn't baseball. And I'm happy and I can't wait.
All I want to say is we're back.
We're back.
We're back, hungry, ready to make some money, and watch some good football games.
Honestly, this is going to be huge. Sunday is obviously a very, very good time.
Yep.
It's going to be locked and loaded for a bunch of big games, a bunch of big-name rookies coming into the league, a bunch of teams that are looking for redemption from last year. And you know what? It's only fair that we make sure everybody gets their flowers because last season was a hell of a season, but this year we're in for something special, man.
Oh yeah, Sundays are not boring anymore.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I can. I don't have to go for a walk anymore.
Yeah,
I can just sit here at home and be locked in all day. But before we break down into AIM Sports and what we do here for our new followers, for our existing followers, we want to thank you for your loyalty. We want to give you a rundown as to how we operate. So you probably caught our previous episode, which is the Thursday night football episodes. This episode's exclusively for Sunday. This is where our records stay different than Thursdays because we know Thursday records are different than Sunday records.
Yeah, Thursday football is you never know. It's in anyone's hands. Thursday football is always an ugly game or it's a good game. We don't know. But Sunday, there's always good games on Sundays.
Agreed. And so we're trying to keep it separate. So the game plan is this. Every Sunday, for Sunday football rather, the day before, we're going to break down 3 game of the weeks. We're going to talk about and dissect the game, talk about what the spread's currently at, where Al and I think about in terms of who's going to cover, who's not. And we're also going to get into some parlays because that's what the fun is, man.
Exactly.
Come
100%.
on.
That's where the fun is.
So we're going to talk about anytime touchdown parlays. We'll even put a sprinkle of the fantasy kind of thought process around what we think of players that are going to have a big game or a breakout game later this week. But, you know, before we do all that, for all of our followers, I'll give you a quick rundown if you're joining us for your first Sunday. Al, I'll throw it to you. Do a quick introduction for the folks.
All right, my name is Al. I love watching sports. For everyone out there, I'm a New York Giants fan. Yes, we've had good years. We're in bad years right now. But yes, I'm a New York Giants fan. I love watching football. I love enjoying and watching games with my brother over here with Irshad. We enjoy it. And we just put our minds together and we're like, hey, let's make a podcast and talk about what we love and what we do every day almost.
I love that. And so with that, my name's Irshad. Obviously with my brother Al here. Football, sports in general has obviously been a topic of conversation between all of our lives since we growing up. And of course, we definitely have some fun trash talking along the way, whether it's fantasy, whether it's a favorite team. Unfortunately, my favorite team is the New Orleans Saints. We've been in a rebuild for a little bit, but I'm gonna just zoom right past that. And we're gonna get into the actual episode of AIM Sports Sunday Night Football Week 1.
All right, so here we go.
Let's do it.
So game 1 of the week, we have in the 4 o'clock slate, Detroit Lions, who were immaculate last year.
Amazing.
Against the Green Bay Packers, who a lot of people of the offseason feel like they might have a shot for the Division 1 and could be the kryptonite for the Detroit Lions. Irshad, I'll throw it to you first. Oh yeah, by the way, the spread is Green Bay minus 2.5.
Okay, good to know.
So Green Bay at home minus 2.5 against the Lions. They're poised and hungry. Irshad, let me know how you feel about this game.
Look, I'll start off by saying I'm surprised this line is Green Bay minus 2.5. Right? The fact that this line actually opened up at Green Bay minus 1.5 and has progressively made its way to Green Bay minus 2.5 is it's concerning because I'm wondering what is it that Vegas is seeing that we're not? Because honestly, I'll start off simply by saying I'm calling Detroit plus 2.5. All right, I'm just gonna get it out there, okay? But there's a couple of reasons for it. Obviously, we know the Lions are a different breed, and I think we were talking about it earlier. The Stafford Jared Goff trade was the best trade I think for both teams ever.
Fairest too,
and fairest trade.
Like there was no love lost. They both were in the wrong team for what their style was, and as soon as they got traded, they fit perfectly. And now look at both teams.
They were both thriving. You know, I thought Stafford was a good place in LA, but more importantly, Jared Goff was a good place in Detroit. You know what I mean? And I think that when you add in, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, like you have an entire depth chart that puts a lot of weapons at the at the helm of Jared Goff, right? And we know this. So a couple of things kind of lead me as to why I'm thinking plus 2.5. All right. Look, at the end of the day, Lions are a beast team. All right. They've progressively gotten better. So I'll kind of share it with you here. In the last 4 years, the Lions are 47, 20, and 1. So that means they cover the spread 70% of the time. Okay? That's huge.
That's huge.
Over the last 4 years. If you take away the very last year, the fourth year, the last 3 years were 72%, which means to me, they're only making positive changes. They're on an upward swing. I can only imagine that 72, maybe creeping its way to 73, 74, maybe to 75%. All right. So one of the things that I also share is Dan Campbell's a beast. All right. As a coach, this man is elite, but a head coach it also requires a very, very good quarterback. You put the fact that Jared Goff is 8-0 against the spread in his opener with the Rams. 4-0 against with the Lions. Apologies. 4-0 with the Lions against the spread. And then you take that and you put that again with Dan Campbell's 11-3 against the spread in September. You have an amazing play caller. You have an amazing quarterback. You have an amazing offensive arsenal, right? Like you look at it from that angle, okay? And then you factor in the sheer notion that Green Bay, good team, no doubt for sure. But when it comes to Green Bay and Lions, they struggle. Yeah. Very, very heavily. Heavily, right? And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, you know what? This is another thing. But at the same token, when you look at the last, let's say, since I think it was 2017, so you take a snapshot of 8 years back, okay? So this is you're closing out the Brett Favre era, obviously, closing out the Aaron Rodgers era, obviously. Packers are 3-12-1 versus Detroit. So that means they were already kind of looking down the barrel when Stafford was on the team.
Yes.
And this team's only gotten better since then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at it. And one thing I also add is, of course, the infamous third player of the game.
Of the game, yeah.
Which is
Mr. Referee.
Mr. Referee himself. So we have Clete Blakeman. And I'll tell you, I'm going to say one thing and one thing alone. And this is Clete Blakeman.
Yes.
Favors underdogs significantly. Underdogs have a coverage rate of nearly 54%. Okay? Home teams are actually, he doesn't like home teams. He's not a fan, and they actually cover less against the spread when it comes to home teams. Now, if you take a look at the last season, he's just not a fan of home teams. Home teams were 6-10 against the spread. Home favorites were 2-3 against the spread. And you know what? Green Bay is at home, and Green Bay is a favorite.
Yes.
I don't think that I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to cover. I think Detroit's going to come out swinging. I think Vegas, as well as some of the people who are placing their bets on Green Bay, are forgetting the fact that Detroit is such a good team.
They're a dominant team, yeah.
Solid, dominant team. So, you know what? I'm going to finish up there because, I think with the Green Bay-Detroit game, I'm calling Detroit plus 2.5. The refs are on Detroit's side. Historically, definitely Clete Blakeman is like, I'm team away.
Team away, yeah, for sure.
And the history of Jared Goff, Dan Campbell,
and
just the Green Bay-Detroit rivalry, I think it just goes to show that Detroit's taking it. What do you think?
And to add to your point too, with Mr. Referee over here, his tendency to call penalties is more towards the home team.
Ah, okay.
So he favors the away team, and they're known for calling a high volume of penalties on the home teams. So so according to that, you're gonna see a lot of false starts.
Yep.
Offensive holding.
Yep.
Illegal shift. You might see an illegal man down the field. They'll get a penalty for that. Rare occasion, you might even get an offensive pass interference.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But then again, you look at the Green Bay side. Green Bay, like how you said, struggles against Detroit. Like they have absolutely no hope winning the game. Like you said, they were 5-5 against the spread, and they're 1-6 straight up against them. So Detroit is always hungry, comes out and eats. But now, if you look at just Week 1 as a whole itself, the Green Bay Packers have won 12 straight, 12 consecutive home games for their home opener or season opener. Let's just say that.
Season opener, right?
So or even home openers. Let's say home openers in general. They've won 12 straight home openers.
Damn.
So now you're coming in here saying, okay, they've won 12 straight. They struggle against the Lions. The Lions are really good.
Yeah.
Why is the line 2.5? Why should it not be pick'em at that point?
And I'm surprised it wasn't pick'em. I'm surprised like it went from 1.5 to 2.5.
Yes.
As opposed to 1.5 to pick'em.
And so it's kind of tough out here. And to be honest with you, if you look into it deeply, Green Bay has a slight edge and favorite to win the division this year over Detroit Lions. So it kind of throws you off here where it's week 1, division game, which is the most important because you always want to be ahead of your divisional rivalry and your opponent, aside from playing any other division team.
Yep.
And this is such a big game at 2.5 points. I feel the game should be closer than what it is.
I agree.
And me personally, I feel this is going to be a 1-point game.
Yep.
I feel it's going to come down to the end with one kick. Team's going to be up 2, whatever. It's going to be up 1, and they're just going to kick it. I'm going to ride with you and say Detroit plus 2.5.
Yep.
According to Mr. Referee status here, according to trends, everything plays out Detroit plus 2.5. But the kicker that I have that I'll go against you, I think Green Bay wins this game.
Okay.
I think Green Bay comes out and throws the stats out the board and says, listen, hey, we are favored to win the division, and we are going to come in and we are going to show you why we are. And if you look at LaFleur too in September, he's like one of the greatest coaches in September.
Yeah.
Right? He's 15-6 against the spread in September. Right? He's 8-1 on the road and 7-3 at home.
Yeah.
So he plays good at home. It's just when they play the Lions, they just don't know how to play or forget how to play.
Yeah.
And I feel that this game is going to be fun. But at the same time, too, you also have to look ahead that this is going to be such a scrappy game for the division that Green Bay has a short week next week. They play Washington on Thursday. But they stay at home, so they're not traveling.
Right.
So you could go all out, win this game, play your hungry, because now you go travel to Washington, or you stay when Washington comes over to your house. You're kind of like, you really don't need that victory because a victory over Detroit is much more beneficial to you in the standings compared to winning to Washington.
Of course, it's the same division, yeah.
So we're both going to ride together on Detroit plus 2.5. The referee's going to help us out here, calling some penalties here and there.
Of course.
But I feel they might reward it back and give Green Bay the win. Or you might see like a 60-yard field goal for the win. Something ridiculous out there.
Something like last minute, something,
You know? But yeah, Detroit plus 2.5. Me and Irshad, me and my brother, both riding it, taking it in. He has Detroit winning the game. I got Green Bay. But we don't count those stats on who we win. We're only counting on stats on against the spread. The little money line is a little sprinkle between both of us. It's just a little special for you guys out there.
That's it. I like that. It's that trash talk we talked about. The friendly competition. But here, we're riding this one together. Detroit plus 2.5 for game 1 of the week. Now, game 2 of the week, it is none other than the Houston Texans versus the Los Angeles Rams.
I think we have to watch 2 games with 2 TV screens.
I think we have to.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
We'll have to dual stream this because this also, Vegas anticipates a very close game whereby the Rams are favored currently at minus 3.5. So, Ulner, I'll throw it to you first. What's your take on this game? Who you kind of leaning on? Let's hear it.
This is a tough game because you have the Rams sure at home. You lost Cooper Kupp, who was a fan favorite, a big piece of your team. You let him go. But then you got another veteran guy, older head, in Adams. Devontae Adams is there. Stafford's going to throw the football to him. We all know Stafford can throw the football. And he'll make any wide receiver look good. He made Tutu Atwell look good last year.
He did.
Year before that, Puka Nacua was there too, made him look good. Yes, out of nowhere. So you have Stafford, can throw it. But when you look on the other quarterback side of CJ Stroud, you don't know what kind of CJ Stroud you're going to get.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a CJ Stroud that's going to come on and just start slinging? Or are you going to get a CJ Stroud who's going to overthrow the throws and throw his interceptions? And it's really tough into a position because now you got Nico Collins who's full.
Yeah.
You're fully healthy, he's back. But I feel Houston is still banged up with injuries. You have no Joe Mixon. You signed Nick Chubb, sure, who's going to come in and play for them. But Nick Chubb, too, in Cleveland had a leg injury, slowed him down.
He did.
And how does he going to go up against a Rams defense who's always been good at home?
And Chubb was an ACL injury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a tough one to come back from.
And Sean McVay, always plays nice. Like, he always has something up his sleeve, right? He's really good at it. He's almost won every season opener game in week 1.
Yeah.
The only loss I think he had was against the Bills in 22. And that's it. So playing the Rams at home is scary.
Yeah.
It's really, 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 really scary. It's really hard. The spread is 3.5. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel the game should be closer than what it is.
Yeah.
But then when you have teams traveling from the AFC to the NFC, it throws it out the window.
It does. Yeah.
Because one play, one call could change the whole dynamic of it. And it's really, really, really hard to predict what will come on and what will happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Rams have a shot at covering the spread, but so does the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Because they have the defense, they have that firepower in them. It's just, we don't know what we're going to get from both teams.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck in a predicament of right in the middle. I'll give you my pick after you tell me how you feel about this game.
Yeah, you brought up a few interesting points because Sean McVay, he's a nice coach, right? So when he comes out to play, right? And he's like one of those coaches that's so deeply ingrained in the success of his players that it comes out. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter who's on the field; they just make it work.
Yes.
Right. You think about Kyron Williams a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Like he must have been a sleeper pick for a lot of people's draft pick or off a waiver wire, and Kyron Williams went off.
He went off.
Right.
Yeah.
He put Kyron Williams in a position to succeed, and he delivered. Right. Now, a couple of things that you also mentioned as well on running back. Joe Mixon's gone.
Yeah.
He was a workhorse. They got Nick Chubb, who's
learning the playbook. He's new, right? So
he's coming off an ACL. And I'm not going to lie, ACL injuries are very hard to come back from, right? So you also have Nico Collins, you have Christian Kirk, so you definitely have some kind of some older veteranship in there as well. But you have CJ Stroud who's looking to kind of make a name for himself.
For sure.
Right? So how I look at it is a couple of ways. So one, CJ Stroud, yes, he's pretty new in the league, right? I think he's going his second year now, right? Second or third year. So now it's 36 starts. As an underdog, he's 11-6.
Yes.
He actually fares better as an underdog than he does as a favorite.
Yes.
So I think there is the positive component there, right? I mean, you want to be not, you want to have the chip on your shoulder.
Yes, correct.
And I think he's coming out to play in that kind of framework as well. Now, that being said, I will acknowledge and give McVay his flowers because when you see McVay and Matthew Stafford and they play together with the Rams, they're 30-9 straight up when they're favorites. 30-9.
Yeah.
Right? Almost three times more likely to win the game outright as a favorite. So the reality of it is like, yeah, they're good. Right? Are they a good team on paper? I think they're good. I don't think they're great.
Okay.
But I think it's the law of summation here where it's like the 1 + 1 = 3.
Yes.
I think you have the good quarterback in Matthew Stafford. You have the cohesive synergy in Sean McVay. And then you have kind of the veteranship of, if you think about it, Puka Nacua, he's still there.
Yeah.
So you have some familiarity, Kyron Williams. But then you, like you said, you bring in somebody with experience, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Right? Someone from Green Bay. Right? You have someone who's played alongside Aaron Rodgers. You have someone who's played around in Oakland.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right?
you have that level of experience where now Devontae Adams, knowing the stuff that works, knowing the stuff that doesn't work, is bringing that experience to a team like LA where you have these players like Puka, like Tutu, like Kyron coming up and saying, all right, it's our time to go. But there's obviously one more player that we cannot forget.
You can never forget this player.
And that is Team NFL. And this time, it is Craig Rolstad running the calls for that game.
Yeah.
And once again, I'll come out and say it quite bluntly, home teams don't fare well when he's refereeing.
Yeah.
So since 2016, so let's take an 8-year gap. 9 years now, but 8 years in terms of plays or in games. Home teams are 51, 73, and 2. So home teams only covers 41% of the time.
Correct.
Okay? That's very, very low, right? Last year, so in 24, last season, it was 38% of the times home teams covered. So home teams are already at a disadvantage as it is, right? But now let's kind of get a little bit deeper into, whether it's underdogs or penalty profiles and stuff like that. Now, Warstad is lower than average, right? So it's about 10 penalties a game, right? So a little bit lower. But where the infractions are, delay of game,
yes,
offsides, ineligible man downfield, and special teams. So it's going to be a lot of not direct games, but it's going to be things that players don't automatically think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when, especially a game like this where it's 3.5, it could be a field goal game.
For sure.
Vegas thinks it's a close game.
For sure.
So when you think about the player psyche, if it's a close enough game, both teams know one mistake can cause it to be a problem.
100%.
So the fact that Craig Warstad looks at flags and infractions of plays or of penalties that aren't directly in the game. So like it's not holding. It's not stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's delay of game. So that means quarterbacks have to be on it when it comes to play call, right?
Sure.
And time management. Defensive offsides, especially if somebody's taking is trailing late in the game, they're gonna they want to get in. They want to make sure they sack the quarterback. They got to be careful with the offsides. Ineligible man downfield, that team that's trailing all of a sudden is throwing bombs.
Exactly.
But they have to make sure you can't be ineligible downfield.
Yeah.
Right? So it's things like that where when you look at it, I'm thinking that Craig Warstad is almost looking at the quote-unquote soft parts of the game.
Makes sense,
right?
yeah.
And it's not the toughness I'm talking about. It's the things that it's a mental component, right? Not the physical, but the mental component, right? You got to be good time management. You got to make sure you're at the line of scrimmage, things like that. So if he doesn't, if the teams don't, keep that front in mind,
exactly,
they're going to get penalized.
Yeah.
And especially if you think about it, it's from the home team who he already doesn't like. That's going to be a pretty interesting kind of component to consider, because reality of it is that, it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big problem. Those off the video like penalties and things that people don't see, they're just going to call, just yellow flag, here you go, move back.
And that's going to penalize a team that's trailing. And all at its core, he doesn't like home teams.
Yeah.
And to close it off, Al, home favorites against the spread, just as I said, 40%.
40%. And also, too, this referee doesn't like the Rams. The two games that he's reffed for the Rams are 0-2 in that game.
Damn. Okay. So that adds another component to it. You know what I mean?
So it's like it just comes out to be like, hey, we like the Texans. We're going to throw penalties on LA.
Yeah.
And we want Houston to cover the spread.
Which explains, the Rams particularly, that's new information because that's important to know.
For sure.
He definitely has something against the Rams. Road underdogs, which is in this case Houston.
Yes.
Last season, road underdogs were 7-2 against the spread.
So
nearly 4 times more likely to cover the spread.
Yes.
In last year when he was refereeing the game.
So it's like it's favoring Houston to cover.
So with that, I'll close out my pick, and I'll let you know, my brother, I'm going with statistics. I'm going with the trends. I'm trusting the rookie or sophomore chip of CJ Stroud now. And I think with Nick Chubb, and I think Nick Chubb knows how difficult it's going to be coming out from an ACL tear.
Of course.
They're putting him as front and center for the running back. I think together, Nico. I think Nick Chubb. I think you have Christian Kirk in there as a veteran player. They're all going to come in together. And I think with the sprinkle of Craig Warstad, I think Houston's taking that at plus 3.5. Now, can we talk similar to the Green Bay game?
Yes.
It might be a field goal game.
Yeah.
It might be something last minute. That's one thing. But when we talk the spread, I'm taking Houston plus 3.5. That's my call. I'll throw it back to you, brother. What was your call after hearing all that?
After hearing all that, it's a tough one. So we all know the AFC, whatever the South, they're not the best. So last year when the AFC South played the NFC West, they were 4-12 straight up.
Ooh.
So you don't see cross division matchups a lot, but when they did last year, out of the games, 4 of them were won by Houston and that division, either by Houston, Jacksonville, Tennessee, or Indianapolis.
Right.
Other than that, they could not buy a win. So when you look at it that way, it's like, do the Rams, and you look at Sean McVay, who's almost perfect at home openers, do you feel he can cover the 4 points, or do they kind of slow it down and go by 3? I'm going to ride with you, go Houston plus 3.5.
Yeah.
Only reason I'm saying that is because I feel the Rams are going to win this game by 3 in a field goal, because even last season, the Rams, could score, yes.
Yeah.
They score about 30 plus points a game. I feel Houston still has the offensive firepower to match it, because it's just that's the only way they'll be able to compete the game.
I agree.
Right? And it's like, to be honest with you, I'll give you an exact stat right there, that they score almost 32 points a game on average on week 1 in the first 4 seasons.
This is McVay and the Rams.
McVay and the Rams, in the first 4 seasons that he's done, in week 1, they score an average of 32 points a game. So, now you take 32 points. Can Houston match 32 points? You're looking at about, 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Maybe 5 touchdowns, give and take.
Yeah.
Is Houston capable of giving 5 touchdowns? And we know the referee's going to be in part of it too.
Yeah.
And it's hard to justify with Stafford getting old, CJ Stroud, young gun, right? Even though I feel like they're capable of scoring that many points, I feel this is going to be a high-scoring affair. Houston plus 3.5, but Rams win this game.
I agree.
Rams win the game by 3
Yep.
at the buzzer, just like Green Bay, Detroit. We're going to have nail biters all across week 1 today.
You know what? I can see that. So you heard it here. Obviously, we're talking spreads. It's that sprinkle of kind of straight up money lines. But we at AIM Sports are going together on this one. Houston plus 3.5 for game 2 of the Houston Texans versus the Los Angeles Rams.
And that brings us to the final game of the week, which is going to be fun. Why? Because it's the Sunday night football game. So we'll be watching 2 games at 4:30.
Yep.
Finish those 2, get a little break about half an hour, and boom, we're back to Sunday night football where we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills in a rematch of last year's playoff game. This is going to be really, really exciting. Josh Allen just got engaged, or did he get married?
Got married,
He got married. Good for him. Congratulations.
Shout out.
He's coming out to, he's going to come out to play.
Of course.
You got Lamar Jackson, who's hungry.
Yep.
They weren't able to capitalize with Mark Andrews' catch where he dropped it at the end. That's going to haunt him forever, but they're going to come back and they're hungry. They improved their defense this year.
Yep.
You're going to a new stadium in the Bills.
Yep.
Right? It's a whole thing that's happening. So the line came out as Baltimore minus 1.5.
Yeah. That's what the line opened up as.
But the line did open up
as... the line opened up at
Buffalo favorite. And now it's switched.
Yes.
And I've also heard Likely's not playing for Baltimore. So that's another tight end. That means you got to rely on Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Yes, they added, DeAndre Hopkins?
Yep.
Cool. No problem. That gives you a little depth on the wide receiver core. Does Baltimore have enough to cover that spread or shot? What do you feel about this?
So this was an interesting one, right? Because I think, you mentioned that we talked about it's changed, right? Like Buffalo opened the line as the favorite.
Yes.
It looks like the money has shifted, and people think, quite frankly, that Baltimore's going to take it. But how we kind of go back at AIM Sports is, we look at statistics, we also look at some of the soft things. So you mentioned, they got a new arena coming up.
Yeah.
He just got married. This is a replay of a playoff game.
Exactly.
Right? Yes. Quite frankly, this could be a matchup in the playoffs, again.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a very, very important game. It's going to be prime time Sunday night. Good weather, so weather is not a variable anymore. Yeah. So, when we look at it in a couple of ways, this is how I kind of take it, all right? You look at, first of all, the offensive capabilities of the Buffalo Bills, right? We know what to expect. James Cook, Josh Allen. Shakir is questionable. I think he's still going to play, though. Kincaid, obviously a big difference maker last year.
Yeah.
Right? Now, obviously, let's flip the script here for the Ravens. You have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Zay still holding it down, but you brought in a veteran in DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
Is this going to be a question about, where the target share is going to be? I don't know. But similar to Christian Kirk with the Rams,
yes,
Hopkins is coming in with some veteranship to this crowd, to this group here. And you have Rashad Bateman, obviously, as well. But one thing you mentioned is Mark Andrews.
Yes.
Andrews dropped that ball last year.
Yeah, he did.
You're telling me that he hasn't slept easy since then? He hasn't been the first guy to be like, I want to get me out on the field. I want to make redemption.
Of course, he has a game circled on
100%. He's been working towards it. He wants to make sure that the world knows that it happened last year and we're never going to talk about it again because it's never going to happen again.
Yep.
And so I think they're going to come out a little extra hungry. Okay? Now, that being said, both good teams. Let's start off with, obviously, Lamar Jackson. Okay? Now, Lamar Jackson is, 12-3 against the spread when listed as an underdog. And so it depends how we look at it here. because technically, he did start off as an underdog.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yes, he did.
Now he's a favorite. So the question is, when the lines were listed, do we take it at face value or do we take it with the new current spread? I don't know, but the reality of it is that Lamar Jackson, when he was an underdog, which was maybe a few days ago, he's 12-3.
Ooh.
All right? That's how you kind of look at it. So when we take into the fact that he was an underdog, now he's a favorite, that's good. Doesn't necessarily change anything. Maybe not, right? But let's also look at the referee here for a second.
Yes, Mr. Third Player.
Mr. Third Player, all right? This game's going to be reffed by John Hussey.
Yes, and from last year, we remember John Hussey.
We remember him. He depending on which side of the ball we were.
Yeah,
he definitely helped.
He played a big factor on decisions last year.
He most definitely did, and now they have the whole Hawkeye technology this year, which will also, I'm sure, help. But one thing that I gotta share is, during his time with the NFL, home teams have gone 81, 58, and 3 against the spread, which is, nearly 60%.
Yes.
Okay. However, we also have to keep in mind that the spread, like we talked about, has changed. Like, it actually flipped opposite. So this is a very interesting gray area we're playing.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Because they were favored and now they're underdogs. So what are they covering here?
Correct. Right? Like, who technically is the you know what I mean? Who technically is the underdog? Who technically is the favorite? Because that's changed, right? Is it when the lines first dropped, or is it what the current standing is, right? But ignoring the underdog situation, home teams under Hussey have gone for nearly 60% cover rate.
Yeah.
Right? So technically, Buffalo, right now, is an underdog.
Yeah, technically, yes.
Technically, in its current state, which we'll focus on, is currently an underdog. So, by definition, they should, according to this, either win or lose by less than 1 point.
Yes.
And they'll cover based on Hussey's...
depends how he calls the game.
Yeah, it depends how he calls the game, right? Now, when you look at it that way, Hussey does play to home field advantage, right? He does play to home field advantage, which is nice.
So that's for Buffalo.
Good for Buffalo, right?
Yes.
As a win in its entirety, right? So that's a good thing. But when you look at the spread and kind of the history, I mean, you got to keep in mind a lot of the history for these two organizations, in my opinion, can kind of be ignored a little bit. And I say that very lightly. And the reason I say that is because generational talent like this between Lamar and Josh Allen, is different.
You're not going to see it ever again. It's not going to come out.
You're not going to see it.
This is like prime time. This is both of their prime. It's beautiful to watch and see what these two young players who've been in the league for so long and are still being able to produce.
I agree.
And it's a really hard one. Like, it's like, who gets the edge here? Because now we see the spread has been changing back and forth. Even Vegas doesn't know who they want to favor.
Exactly.
It's like we favor Josh Allen one day. Oh, Lamar Jackson's favorite today. Now it's going to go back. It's going to end up as a pick'em. The game might even end in a tie at that point, right? Realistically, if you're looking at the lines, the movement, it could end up in a tie. But then when you look at John Harbaugh on the other side, though, John Harbaugh is amazing on week 1.
Yep.
He's 6-1 straight up and against the spread from 2017, 2013. The only time they didn't cover the spread, I think, was last year, where they lost to the Chiefs week 1.
Damn.
That's it. Other than that, John Harbaugh comes out and he goes, hey, this is our team.
Yeah.
And the Buffalo Bills, they're lacking at the wide receiver core after losing Amari Cooper, who was old, but still was a name where people had to watch out.
Yeah. Now
you're sitting here with Coleman. You're going to have Kincaid. You're going to have Dawson Knox. You have Shakir there, sure. But Shakir's your blanket. I get that. Which Coleman is going to show up? Right? Who really shows up at that time? And it's a tough one.
It is. This one's a tough one.
Like, even when you look at, Bills as a home team, they cover the spread 60% of the time against Hussey. A strong home field indicator. Like 60% of the time. But to me, aside from looking at points and factors and what happened in history and whatnot, as a team, if I go into the Baltimore Ravens mindset, I'm coming for revenge.
Yeah.
Last year was their year. Now they got better on the defensive side. they are gonna come out hungry. They're gonna show a different scheme. This is like Lamar Jackson's year to win the Super Bowl. Like, this is bust or that's it. Like, you're done.
Then you got to dissect
either
the
win
team.
or done, because you've had these core guys for a while now, and defense was always John Harbaugh's like focal point. He was always really good at it. It got stronger. The offense got stronger when they got Henry. They had the chance. They were so close, and Buffalo took it away from them.
Yeah.
They're gonna come into Buffalo. John Harbaugh's gonna throw up a scheme. Lamar Jackson gonna do what he does with his feet, throw the football, whatever he has to do. The Baltimore Ravens are winning this game. Yeah. And they're going to win by more than 2 points. They're going to come out and win this game. I'm thinking they're going to win by 4 points.
Yeah.
I think with Josh Allen and his whole offseason getting married has gone into... Plus, they were on Hard Knocks too, so he was getting filmed too.
Oh, yeah.
So they were working while everyone's seeing what they're doing in practice and whatnot. That's what happened to Lamar Jackson last year, because Baltimore was on the Hard Knocks last year.
Yeah.
They lost week 1.
Yeah.
Buffalo's on Hard Knocks this year. Lose week 1, and I just feel that Baltimore's here for revenge. They're hungry. Me personally, aside from the referee stats and how they're doing whatever they're doing, Baltimore's coming out hungry. They're gonna come on and win. They're gonna kick some ass.
Yeah. You know what? Like I before I share my call on that too, I think I agree with you, man. Like, I think when you look at it, Lamar Jackson's hungry.
He's hungry.
Right? Like, we look at the fact that, maybe Josh Allen's coming off a high, getting married.
Yeah.
They're getting a new arena, right? Like, everything's a high, Hard Knocks. Like, there's so many highs in the offseason that sometimes all you need to do is buckle down and just get to work.
Just get to work and just deal with it.
Right? And so I think that's what it is like right now, yes, Ravens as technically road favorites, 50% of the time they, cover against the spread. So that's great. But that's exactly it. 50% of the time they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And for it to be minus 1.5, it practically is pick 'em.
It's practically, exactly.
At this point.
It's exactly pick 'em at the end.
Right? Now, technically, the Bills are, 70% against the spread when they're home underdogs. But we have to call out the sheer fact that they weren't underdogs initially. They were favorites.
Yes.
Right? They become underdogs because the line has shifted.
Exactly.
Right? So are they true underdogs right now? I wouldn't say they are.
No.
I wouldn't say they are. I think by definition, they're actually favorites. The sheer reason why this has moved, because money has been moving over.
Exactly. And now it's technically a pick 'em.
Technically, it's a pick 'em.
But I personally feel Baltimore's going to come out more hungrier. They're the hungrier team.
Yes.
Yes, both Buffalo and Baltimore both play a division game next week.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. That's a look-ahead game for them, but that's fine. But this game specifically is Baltimore's game to show, hey, listen, we didn't forget what happened last year.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews' drop may have been a 1 in a million chance, because no way he was dropping that.
God, no.
And we're going to come out for revenge, and we're coming for you, Josh Allen.
So I think it sounds like you and me are both. I think I'm going to, go with this one. Baltimore.
Minus 1.5?
Minus 1.5.
Done.
Done.
You
and
guys
done.
heard it here. Lock it in. So, for week 1, both of us are all locked in on the same pick for all 3 games. So we're going to have some fun here.
Yep.
This is going to be really exciting. Hopefully it doesn't... Maybe there was a curse last year, remember? On Thursdays, where games that we were picking that I didn't like, one of us went the other way. So let's see how this week goes for week 1.
Yep.
But yeah, 3 games of the week. You have it right there. Game 1, Detroit versus Green Bay. My brother and I both got Detroit plus 2.5. Game 2, we got Houston versus the Rams, LA Rams. Spread is 3.5 Rams. We got Houston covering that too. And in the final game, we got Baltimore and Buffalo. Baltimore minus 1.5. We got Baltimore to cover. So we got 2 dogs and a favorite.
Yep. That's it. We've locked in.
We locked in.
We got our good mix. We've built that. For those who are tailing, by all means, you can straight bets, parlay, whatever you feel comfortable with. But that's just the game of the weeks.
Let's go have some fun now.
Now it becomes a fun time, because now it's the prop side of everything. All right. So this week we are focusing on a 3-leg anytime TD prop parlay. Al, let me throw it to you first. Let them know who the first person is going to be.
All right. So for our 3-leg parlay, we got people that are gonna find the paint. They're gonna find the end zone, do a celebration, do a dance, and I'm gonna shout out my boy from Canada, Chuba Hubbard, all the way from Carolina. From Canada out here.
Yep.
He's finding the paint. They're playing a Jacksonville team who we don't know who they are. Yes, they got Travis Hunter.
Yep.
He wants to play defense, wants to play offense. We don't know how that defense is going to go. But we've seen from last year, Chuba Hubbard is the guy, the go-to guy that has given Carolina those 6 points.
Yep.
Lock in Chuba Hubbard anytime TD. Irshad, who else do we got on this?
Obviously, you guys have heard how much we think of Detroit. So we're going back to the starting running back of Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs,
Yep.
to find pay dirt. We know it's going to be a mixed committee potential between Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yep.
But we know Gibbs is taking that to pay dirt. He's going to
Yeah.
get a breakout, and he's running.
Oh, he's running.
He's running, and if he needs to ground and pound his way through, he's getting that pay dirt for sure. So lock in number 2, Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime TD.
Woo.
Now, who's the last one?
So last one here, he's going to get his first touchdown in the NFL in the regular season.
Yep.
We got Ashton Genty coming out here against the New England Patriots, who's going to go out and run. And he even said the offseason, take me on your fantasy team 1. Pick me to go have a good season. Why? Because players cannot tackle him. And with that mindset, they're just going to hand it off with a quarterback with Geno Smith. You have Geno Smith who's also mobile. You got Pete Carroll who's out there in Vegas. You're going to play a Marshawn Lynch style football.
Yeah.
A little chuck down there too. And Pete Carroll, remember, he's never going to forget that Super Bowl where he didn't pass it off to Marshawn Lynch.
He's never making that mistake again.
Ashton Genty's that guy. He looks like a young Marshawn Lynch. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith are going to work together. He's going to go find the end zone. And that's the final leg of our 3-leg parlay. And if you tail all 3 of them, it'll give you a 6.67 times your money on Bet365. And like we said on the previous episode, if you go with DraftKings, it's at 6.98.
So you get a little extra sprinkle.
A little extra sprinkle, a little more 10 cents there. Hey, money's money. Money's hard to come by these days. So
For real.
a little 10 cents on your bet, hey, we'll take that.
That's a dub. You lock that in, you tail it, you parlay it, you single bet it, whatever you want. But we got Hubbard, Gibbs, and the rookie on the block, Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty, yes.
All right.
So lock that in right there.
Lock it in. Now, obviously, it's week 1.
This week 1. So
All
we're going to have our little fun here before we end our episode.
Yep.
We didn't do this last year, but we're going to do this year. We're going to make a little futures predictions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come out here and tell you guys who we think is going to win each division and a little sprinkle of why. And it's going to be fun because you're going to hear us go back and forth on certain teams that we may like and we may not like. But we're going to start off easy. AFC East. In the AFC East, we got the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets. Hands down, we all know where this is going. Buffalo Bills is winning that division.
Bills.
They've been winning that division.
Yeah.
They're going to keep winning that division. Let them have it in a gold platter. They already signed up for it.
It's done.
End of story. Now it gets a little interesting here. AFC North, you got Baltimore Ravens.
I got Baltimore Ravens winning that. I think Lamar J, Derrick Henry, as we talked about earlier,
Yep.
are hungry. They're coming in for the kill. I'm putting them to lock up AFC North. Who you got?
Ooh, okay. I think the Cincinnati Bengals
Ooh,
are going to
okay.
come on and win this division.
Okay.
Only reason why I say that is because Joe Burrow is supposed to have an MVP season this year,
Yep.
tied with Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
So it's going to be a battle of them two.
For sure.
But now when you look at it in a fantasy perspective, Jamar Chase went first overall.
That's true.
It was him, Bijan, or Saquon were top. For Jamar Chase to have a good season, you need Joe Burrow to have a good season.
That's true.
And for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to have a good season, that means they'll be winning games because last year they were producing points, giving up points, but couldn't close.
Yep.
They're going to learn from last year, close out games, win close games too. Cincinnati Bengals win the division.
All right. Next up, we got... So we're separate on that one, so that's a good one. We like that. Next one is we got AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Let me throw it to you first. Who do you think AFC South's going to be?
So I feel like AFC South, I think is going to be the worst division.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'm going to throw my prediction out there. The AFC South is going to go 0-2 for the first 2 weeks. Because on week 3, they all play each other. No team in that division is going to get a win until week 3. Let's put it that way. Me personally, Houston, yes, is strong. They're out there. They know how to win the game. They know they played it. They won the division last year. I don't think they're going to come out with the division this year. I think it's going to be a dark horse team, a different team. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with the Jaguars with Lawrence going. Because listen, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play his game, he's out. He's gone. He's done. This is the year to show, hey, we can go out and win the division.
Yeah, and they got the new rook in there, so they has to show up.
And you got Travis Hunter, all the buzz. You got the media going. Go on and win some football games.
For real. I'm still tailing my Texans. I think they're still going to hold down. I think CJ Stroud, like we talked about earlier, has played with a chip on his shoulder. He's obviously done it before last season, the season before. I think it's going to be again. You got Nico ready to go. He was slowed down last year, injury time. But now this time you got Nico. Yeah, you got Nico, and you got
You got Kirk, and you also have what's his other guy's name on the court? You have Nick Chubb too.
Yeah.
Like you got
and Dalton Schultz. That's what we're thinking about. Yeah, the Dalton Schultz.
But you also worry about when Mixon comes back. How will they come back? How long does it come back? Will Nick? It's just tough for Houston to. They've always been injury prone, and it's kind of tough to understand where they're coming from. But hey, it's not a bad pick. Houston is there. They're a really good team.
They are.
Let's go from there. Next division, AFC West. We got the KC Chiefs. We got Denver Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. Irshad, who do you got on this one?
So, this one I'll kind of be a little interesting. I'm gonna go on a wild card here.
Okay.
It is not the Raiders.
Okay.
It is not the Chargers.
And
it is not the Chiefs.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Denver Broncos. We got Bo Nix out there holding it down. Now I'm gonna call a couple of things and the reason why. Okay, so for those who watched the league last year,
yes,
we saw the Chiefs get away
with murder.
With murder.
Yes.
Okay. The referees were blatantly on their side to a point where even the commissioner had to get involved. It was bad. Okay. So I think that they're going to try to make amends and maybe quote unquote play fairly.
Yes.
But the only team that I believe truly gave the Chiefs a run for their money was the Broncos.
Okay.
It was the Broncos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So was it the altitude? Was it the was it just the general play? Whatever the case was, I think the Denver Broncos gave them a good run for their money, but more importantly, actually were very, very promising from last year. Now, with this Hawkeye technology, yes, those Chiefs calls that the refs missed won't be missed anymore. So you're going to bring that back, and with that, I'm taking the Broncos. I think the Chiefs, and to add a little salt in the wound here, I think Chiefs will do well.
They will.
But I think they're coming in on the wild card tip.
Yeah.
They're not coming in as the division leader. Obviously, by definition, the Broncos are taking it, but I'm saying the Chiefs are going to be squeezing their way into wild card.
Okay.
I don't think they're just going to be like, we're in wild card. No, you're going to be squeezing.
They have to earn it.
They're going to earn that.
Yep.
So I'm going Broncos. Who's you got for AFC West?
I got the Chargers.
Okay.
Chargers are going to come out here. They've always been playing good. They've been playing good. Their defense there, you got the Harbaugh brother there just doing his thing, and I think it's time for him to shine. The Chiefs have always taken this division. The Denver Broncos pick, I don't know where you're getting this from, but I like it and I don't like it at the same time. The Chargers, looking at projection-wise on betting, they're third favorite to win. I think the Chargers come out stronger. Keenan Allen, you got Herbert. You got some good pieces out there that could come on and play some good football. But yeah, me and you were going against it. I got Chargers, you got Broncos. And let's continue to the NFC side now. We'll go start again, NFC East. We got the Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Who do you got, Irshad?
Ooh, so NFC East, I'm going with the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Eagles.
I'm going to Eagles on that one. I know your team's the Giants. I apologize.
It's fine.
But I got to roll with the Eagles. Yeah. Reality of it is you got a solid offensive core. You obviously are coming off a Super Bowl high. You have Nick Sirianni. I mean, the reality of it is I think the Eagles are still going to lock up this division.
Okay.
Whether or not they move forward beyond it, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I think they'll lock up the division.
We haven't seen a repeated NFC East division winner for the past 8 years, 9 years. So I don't see the Eagles coming back again.
Yep.
Washington, yes, I feel like there's too much focal point on them. I think Deebo Samuel is a little toxic for them. It's going to be a little wild for them to go with the whole McLaurin saga they got. Yeah, they signed him. Sure, Daniels is there. But I feel there was no film on Daniels last year. When he was playing, there's film this year. Teams are going to stop him. I'm a New York Giants fan. I would love the New York Giants to win the division. But let's be real here. They have really good defense. They're still trying to figure out, hey, you never know. They could come on and surprise teams. But I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys, which is absurd because I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I dislike them. But looking at the stats-wise and looking at how this team's going to play, I think Dallas comes out, wins week 1 against the Eagles.
Sure.
And if they do, hopefully they do. And just go from there. And Dallas is going to come on and just play strong with the division there.
Okay, that's a bold call.
That's a bold one right there, yeah.
All right, so with that, we got NFC North. So we got between the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings.
Ooh.
Who do you got?
This is a tough one. We were going at it. I was thinking about it. The Bears, no show. They're still trying to figure out what they're trying to do. Minnesota Vikings with McCarty could have a chance. It just poised on the defense on how they're going to come on and play their scheme there. Lions, we know, is hungry. They've been there before. The Green Bay Packers and the Cheeseheads, they got better on the defensive side.
Yeah.
I just feel the trade for Parsons from Dallas to go to Green Bay benefits both teams, where Dallas is nice, calm, and they get to just play defense. While Green Bay got better, I'm taking Green Bay Packers win division.
Ooh, okay. So I think this might be indicative of the matchup, obviously in the game of the week.
Yeah.
Because I'm going with Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
You know, I think the offense will just obliterate the new defense. I think Parsons is going to be imparting some wisdom and knowledge to the Green Bay defense, but it's going to take a few games to get the reps in.
No, for sure.
I don't think it's going to be enough where they're going to be able to capture the division. Mm-hmm. They might make a move for the wild card, but I definitely don't think it's for the division. So I'm going with the Lions on this one.
All right, and then we go to the NFC South here. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. Yep. We've had Tampa Bay killing this division. They've been going at it with Brady, without Brady. They've been killing it. Injuries haven't hurted them a lot. Atlanta Falcons, the big talk right now with, Penix.
Yep.
And, they've been playing really well. You got the Panthers who are just there. And is Bryce Young going to show up? We don't know. A lot of rookies there. But their defense has always been nice. They just don't know how to. And New Orleans, sorry, my brother, just like the Giants, we're all rebuilding. So we know that's out the question.
Yeah.
Like, they're not coming out here out of nowhere. Me personally, I feel this division is, again, not the greatest division ever. I'm going dark horse, Carolina Panthers win the division.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? That's interesting because if Bryce Young actually finds his form,
after 2 years, you have to find something.
You do have an elite running back. You have Chuba Hubbard.
But you have also no names where people are rookies and they haven't seen the scheme of how to play. I think Carolina is so poised that they're just gonna be so comfortable and just go out there and play.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll have a couple of upsets chances, to go out there. But it's going to be a toss-up, and that's a risky one. But Carolina Panthers, I like them.
You know what? I like that. And I think to your point about the rookies, I think if the rookies buy into the culture of the coach, and the coach is actually a good coach to mold them, I think they could be a difference maker. So with that, though, obviously I would love the Saints to be there. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. Falcons, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be a little overhyped, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Panthers, I do think they're going to catch their stride. Yeah. I really do. I just don't think it's going to be quick enough.
For sure.
Before they can make a move on the division. Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm going with Baker Mayfield, obviously a potential MVP candidate with the Buccaneers. Yeah. I just think that, edging it just makes sense. Yeah. Because outside of the division, they're obviously still a threat. So I'm rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right. And then leads us to the NFC West division, where you got the 49ers, you got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, and you got the Seahawks out there. I think both of us are on the same page here. Yeah. I feel, according to NFL and everything, San Francisco has the easiest schedule.
Yeah.
The easiest schedule, and with a healthy CMC back, you got Kittle. Yes, you're going to need Ayuk for later. You lost Debo already because that was it was toxic in the group. That's gone. Everything's there. Start fresh, rebuild, because they were supposed to win it last year. They didn't even win the division. They finished third. Yeah. They're hungry to go back and say, hey, we're the San Francisco 49ers. We win the NFC West. So give me the 49ers.
I agree. 49ers is locked up with me too. So that is the division winners that we have. Some similarities, some differences. Mm-hmm. It's only time will tell.
Yes.
But of course, with every good season comes a even better end, which is a Super Bowl matchup. Mm-hmm. So Al, I'll throw it to you over first, my brother. Who do you think the matchup will be for the Super Bowl for this year?
Okay, so let's get it straight. We know. Okay, I said it earlier in this episode too. The Baltimore Ravens need to win the Super Bowl this year. Lamar Jackson needs to win the Super Bowl this year. They're going to the Super Bowl on the AFC side. They're going to finally find a year where they can beat all the kryptonite, beat KC, wherever else there, Buffalo, anybody else that's there, go out, Chargers, everybody go out and go. Now, it's where the NFC side is where it gets a little tricky, where it's kind of like, who really comes out of it? And to me, I feel, again, according to players on this team and their past injuries and what they deserve on how good they are, and they're going to be Hall of Fame later when they retire, I'm taking the 49ers. Giving the Baltimore Ravens and the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. You're going to see CMC versus Derrick Henry, two good matchups on the running back. You see two good quarterbacks. Purdy, yes, has been lost. I'm going to take it, and I'm taking the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
All right. So that's it. So, I'll throw mine on because, man, we got a good similarity on this one, too. My Super Bowl matchup was also the Ravens.
All right.
But as opposed to the 49ers, I'm leaning it into the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
I think they still have a very, very strong arsenal. Mm-hmm. I think you have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have essentially David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. Two perfectly good capable running back ones.
For sure.
And reality of it is you can use them interchangeably, which is amazing. You have Jared Goff, who has an arm.
Yeah.
All right. You have Sam Laporta, who's breaking out of his shell and actually coming into home.
Yeah, that is very true.
Right? Amon-Ra, like you still have the entire wide receiver core. I think that they're going to give them, once again, like Derrick Henry, you have Jamar Gibbs, you have David Montgomery as the head-to-head running back matchup. You have the Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, head-to-head. Like, this is going to be a great, great matchup. But who do I think is going to win? I also have to agree with the Baltimore Ravens. This year is the year. If Lamar Jackson truly wants to cement himself as both an MVP, but also to get the conversation of the greatest of all time started, he needs to win a chip. He needs to win a ring.
Yeah.
And I think this year is the year.
Yeah.
He's been working.
Yeah.
He's out of the media. He's just head down, buckle down. I'm grinding. I'm working, learning new plays, learning the playbook, getting everybody involved, getting a culture of championship mindset. I think the Ravens are also winning it.
Yeah, that I like it. Overall, I think the AFC wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out there. I know this, is going to be different, but I'm going to give you guys, all you listeners here, a dark horse team. I'm going to give you one dark horse team from the AFC, Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Joe Burrow is poised to win MVP with Jamar Chase, like I said earlier first. Watch out for Cincinnati Bengals. They might have something up their sleeve, and they might make it to the Super Bowl. That's just me, a dark horse. That's a personal opinion.
Yeah.
That's just it. If you have a dark horse, Irshad, that you like or something out of the pocket, feel free to share. Let the listeners know. Because, sometimes our dark horse could be right. We're just going with something that's safe, but our gut sometimes could, lead the way to fortune.
I mean, I think I kind of spoke about this dark horse already as the AFC West champion, which would be the Broncos. I mean, I've already mentioned as the division winner, but I think people are sleeping on them, man.
You think the Broncos might come out of there, right?
I think the Broncos might actually make a way out. But, if that's just a dark horse. That's just like an innate feeling, But I think at the end of the day, I think the Ravens versus blank matchup, whether it's Detroit, whether it's not 49ers.
I feel more so it's going to be like a AFC North team versus NFC West team in the finals.
Okay.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Like I said, Cincy, don't forget on the Rams. Don't sleep on the Rams too on the other side.
Yeah.
You have teams that are there, but I think it's going to be those two divisions. Either you have Ravens or Cincy, like I said, or I said earlier, 49ers or Rams going out there. But it's going to be those two divisions as a dark horse to go out there. So there you go. That wraps it up, guys. We have our predictions for division winners and Super Bowl champions. Now let's get into fantasy for the week a little. Quickly get in and out here. Me and my brother are going to pick one player from the one position and see who's going to have a better game. Just a little side bet between me and my brother over here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first. Monday Night Football game, Justin Jefferson. I think when you quarterback McCarthy, he's going to explode. They're going to gel well together. Chicago defense, not the greatest. Justin Jefferson, 2 touchdowns. Probably about 7 catches and like over 100 yards. Yeah. He's going to kill it. Irshad, who's your player of the week?
I'm a player of the week for me. I think Al mentioned it earlier. Person who's going to go poised to go number 1 in a lot of fantasy drafts. MVP candidate, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to lock him into your fantasy draft. He's going to have a monster game. You know what? I think it's going to be a lot of targets his way. I think Joe Burrow knows that if he wants an MVP year or a chance to win the division or a chance to, actually have a chance at the Super Bowl, he needs to get Jamar Chase involved early. So we're going to start sending targets there ASAP. And Jamar Chase is the kind of guy, you throw it up there,
he's getting it.
He's going to go grab it and get it, right? Just let him go to work. So I think Jamar Chase definitely got to be in your lineup as well.
Do you have like a stat line you have for him?
How
do you feel?
You know what? I think Jamar Chase this week, I think he's going to easily go for over 100 yards.
All right.
For sure. There's no doubt about it. Over 100 yards, I think he's going to be picking up at least a touchdown. And I say at least because I truly believe that they could potentially, against the Cleveland Browns, could actually pick up 2.
I think he might pick up 3.
I mean, if it's not unprecedented.
He did that
last year.
I'm just saying, but I just feel that Jefferson might have a better game than Chase. But if they have an even game, we're both look good.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both of us.
There we go.
But yeah, Jamar Chase, basic stat line I'm going to give you right here. I'm thinking 8 catches, 120, 2 TDs.
Done. I love it. Beauty. Love wide receivers out there that catch the football.
I love it.
There you guys have it. AIM Sports followers. I know this has been a long episode here, but it's only week 1. We gave you our insights. We're going to be back for more. But before we leave, we got to let you know, we haven't picked a Monday night game.
No, we haven't.
So for all the listeners out there, we're going to give you our handle on X and IG and Threads and Facebook. Go follow, like, subscribe, as we'll be posting Monday night's pick on Monday during the day. So stay tuned, stay follow. We will give you anytime touchdown score and who we like for the game. Our handle is on X or Twitter, as people will call it, _AIM Sports Betting. And if you go on IG and Threads, it's just without the underscore, AIM Sports Betting.
That's it.
That's it.
You heard it. There's a free pick in it for you. Like, subscribe, all of that. We're going to be directly involved on Monday Night Football's picks. If you guys want to get a hold of us, tweet us, whatever.
DM us, ping us, whatever you want.
We're
Send
holding
email,
it down.
whatever you like.
This is going to be it. Just you probably be talking to one of us when you get that comment back.
So hate us, love us, whatever you like. We're here for all criticism, positive, negative. It don't matter. We're here as one.
That's it.
And we're just here to have a good time. Help you guys win some money. We win some money. We get to enjoy Sundays together. Let's go get it. From AIM Sports, thank you for listening. Gamble responsibly. Gamble what you can afford. Stay tuned for next week because we'll have something on Thursday and Sunday next week. Week 1, NFL, AIM Sports Betting. We out. Peace.
Peace.